Well, here we are, guys. It's October the 13th as of this recording, and we are 6 days away from the release of the new soft boot of the Halloween franchise. Halloween 2018. Finally, Halloween has hit the reboot button again on the long-lasting franchise. Again! The last time we had this, we had the Rob Zombie directed film Halloween 2007. Yeah, Halloween. Like, man, I'd feel bad for anybody that's not a fan that would try to find the first film. And once this new one hits Blu-ray, they're gonna have 3 different choices of Halloween to go through. Which one do I pick? I feel bad for them. But hey, that's their problem, not ours. If you're watching this, you're probably already well aware of the franchise. Anyway. Like I said, the last time this happened, Rob Zombie was given the reins to the Halloween franchise to try to reboot it, revitalize it, put some air into it, give it a little bit of CPR, because Halloween, they hadn't seen anything since Halloween Resurrection 2002, and that was pretty bad. And then Halloween 2, or H2 as it's called, came out and killed the franchise, just obliterated it, and it hasn't been until this one that we've had a new Halloween. So yeah, but let's get down to brass tacks. 2007, Halloween got rebooted, and I'm gonna give you my opinion because I feel like right now is probably the best time to give you guys my overall impression, since that we're about to have a new version, and who knows, maybe it'll help my channel out. And by the way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying it. Yes, I'm gonna whore myself out a little bit. Anyway, just like last time with the Venom review, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the storyline, give you the pros and cons, which are strictly in my opinion. If you disagree, feel free to write it down in the comments section, and I'll give you the overall grade. Anyway, the film opens up to the audience with a very small, short, and seemingly weak Michael Myers, who was absolutely tormented throughout school and in his home life. His stepdad, played by William Forsythe, rules, is one of the biggest assholes on the planet, is likely never to win the Father of the Year award, especially concerning what happens to him. The only people in his life that seem to be decent in any way to him are his mother, who is a stripper with a golden heart, and his baby sister, who is just, well, a baby. She's innocent, and he does genuinely care about her. One Halloween night, as we all know, as the legend goes, he kills part of his family. He kills his stepfather, he kills his sister Judith, and her boyfriend, who, for God's sakes, was just making a sandwich. He really didn't deserve to die. I felt bad for that guy. 1 minute, you're eating a roast beef sandwich, and next, you get a baseball bat to the head. What the fuck, Michael? Anyway, it turns out Michael has been fond of killing small animals for a while now, and after he murdered his sister and his stepfather and the boyfriend, he is sent to Smith's Grove Sanitarium, where Malcolm McDowell, playing Dr. Loomis, is pretty much his character. He's his therapist. He's trying to get through to him and try to figure out what exactly went wrong in this poor kid's mind. And, you know, it's Halloween, so years later, he breaks out of the asylum and begins his killing spree all over again. He goes after his baby sister, who is completely oblivious to his existence and his impending terror. Anyway, let's get down to the pros, because I always feel like you should be more positive before you're negative, because whenever I watch movies, I always try to look for the positives, even if it's a bad movie. Anyway, the first 45 minutes are great. I actually think they're really good. Aside from the fact that it's a little bit cliched, Michael Myers' kind of home life, I think that the first 45 minutes are the best part, because you actually get to know him, and the scenes between Michael confiding in Dr. Loomis are actually quite touching. You almost feel bad for this boy, even though you know that he's a killer. He's a stone cold killer. But somehow you're able to feel bad for him, and you feel bad for his mother because she's stuck in the middle of this. Her daughter is dead. Her piece of crap boyfriend is, well, he's dead. I don't think she feels too bad about him. But still, I don't think she wanted him to get his throat slit like he did. And her son is completely a loon. She's raising her daughter by herself and actually winds up killing herself. It's incredibly tragic, but it tugs at your heartstrings. Another thing that I really liked, another pro, is that Michael Myers is a brute in this. He's just a bad motherfucker in this movie. He is smashing people through. He's killing people by shoving television sets on them. He's really an asshole in this, but that's really what they needed to do with this film. They needed to make him a true force of nature. And love or hate this movie, you can't argue that they truly made him super violent. Hell, you just saw it right down there at the bottom of the trailer. He is brutal in this movie. The cast is really, really good. It's top notch. It's not a lot of Oscar winners, but it's really, really good cast. You got Danny Trejo, you got Danielle Harris from the original Halloween 4 and 5. You got D. Wallace Stone, E.T.'s mom is in this, and the woman who beat Cujo the dog. And of course, Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky, is actually a good guy in this. He plays the sheriff. That's awesome. I love that. I thought the soundtrack was pretty good. It's got a lot of old school music. You know, they bring back the Don't Fear the Reaper just before Michael stabs his sister. They play that song, and they play that song in the original. I like all those little homages that Rob Zombie threw in. Some of the choices were a little odd, like "Love hurts, love man," while Michael Myers is sitting on this porch and his mom is stripping. I didn't really get the correlation there. That was just freaking weird. I love that the ending was rather ambiguous. Spoiler alert, I mean, you know, I'm reviewing it, so spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. At the very end, Michael tackles Laurie, and Laurie has one bullet left in the gun. She's covered in blood, completely traumatized. She's got it up to his head, and Michael tries to grab the gun and stop her, but we're also wondering whether or not it's Michael. Maybe it's Dr. Loomis, maybe Michael put his mask on her. He doesn't say anything, of course, it's Michael Myers, and boom, it's the end of the movie. That's it. All you see is Laurie screaming, and I thought that was really cool. Like, if you didn't make a sequel, that's a hell of a way to end your movie on. I thought that was really good. I feel like I should have put these last two pros maybe ahead of the ending part, but whatever, we're here anyway. Joe Grizzly. As small a cameo as that scene is, Joe Grizzly rules. I love that man, and I felt bad that Michael had to kill him. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch, and I'm gonna cut that mask right off your face. Love that scene. Too bad Michael kicks his ass and stabs him. And one more note, this might be a little silly, a little bit immature, but lots of boobs! If you're watching horror movies for the boob count, hey, lots of boobs. Moving on from that, let's go to the cons. It seems as though, like I was saying at the beginning, like as much as I love the first 45 minutes, it's very cliched how Michael Myers' home life is. Like the way that he becomes is like, oh, what are we gonna do? Well, he was raised in a crappy, dare I say, redneck family that's just full of alcoholics and abuse. It just really felt so cliched. Like, really? You couldn't come up with anything else? It really is scarier to think of Michael Myers as just a happy-go-lucky kid that one day, snap, just fucking snapped and killed his sister. That's a lot creepier. Anything you could have come up with would have probably disappointed, but damn, zombie, I really feel like you could have come up with something else. It really felt like Devil's Rejects being just shoved into Michael Myers' universe. Speaking of which, everyone seems to cuss profusely. Like, I'm not a big critic of, cussing. I'm not going to be like, hey man, watch your language. I don't really care about that, but when you're writing characters, I like to actually have relatability and good writing. And, cry, wow, wow, all that little fucker seems to do is cry. Like, a lot of these lines are like, I could have wrote that, and that's not a good thing. I'm not a big Hollywood director, and I could have come up with something better than that. So yeah, I didn't really care for that. And that also kind of goes into this next criticism. Laurie Strode. I like the actress. Scout Taylor Compton is no Jamie Lee Curtis, but I really like her. She acts a little bit too much like her friends. Like, they're all horn dogs. Laurie's friends are horn dogs, very much like they were in the original film, but now Laurie is just like them. I think one reason that they did this is because of past interviews that Jamie Lee Curtis gave, talking about how she got in a character to play Laurie, and apparently she was much more like the friends in the film. Like, she was much more promiscuous. She was, you know, having a lot more fun than Laurie was. She wasn't cooped up babysitting all the time. That was really against who Jamie Lee Curtis was at the time. And I think the Rob Zombie changed the character to be like, huh, what if the character was like Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, was in real life? So I think that's what he was going for, but it didn't really work for me. But by the end of the film, I'm with her. I'm rooting for her. How the hell did Michael Myers get so big? I know a lot of people bring this up, so I'm not going to talk about it for too long, but yeah, Michael goes from being like this small little blonde kid. I mean, you know, not here, I'm trying to turn my hand, you know, you see right there? Look how small he looks. He really just gets gigantic. You know, I just don't understand it. Did they feed him steroids? Probably, who knows. A big problem that I have with the director's cut specifically, because a lot of people have now seen the director's cut because that's sometimes the one that they put on Netflix or Amazon. The rape scene, I can't stand it. You know, like, there's two versions of how Michael Myers gets out. One, he's being transferred to another institute, and the second one, which is the director's cut. I don't know why he thought this was a good idea. It was when one of the jail guardsmen comes in and rapes one of the girls that are being held there, and they, for some reason, go into Michael's room, start doing it there, and then they piss off Michael, and that's how he escapes. It's like, you really needed to force that in there? Like, we didn't need to see that. I fucking hate rape scenes in movies. I fucking hate them. Anyway, moving on. Dr. Loomis doesn't see Michael Myers as pure evil. I spent 8 years trying to reach him and another 7 trying to keep him locked away, because what I realized was behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. That's not there anymore. He just looks at Michael Myers as a psychopath. That didn't really stick true to the character for me. I do know that Malcolm McDowell did not watch the original because he wanted to do a completely new take on Dr. Loomis. Now, one, I can appreciate that he was trying to be original, but two, we lost something as an audience. We lost a major piece of Dr. Loomis. Like, I personally love him as the evil-fearing doctor running around. I shot him 6 times! I shot him 6 times! I love that stuff. And we didn't really get it in this movie. But he was still alright as Dr. Loomis. He definitely had his moments. And down to the last big issue I have with this film. The ending lags. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of running around, but it just kind of feels like they ran out of ideas and they were like, we're running out of time. Let's just hurry up and get to the ending already. Let's go. I thought that the ending just lagged. The whole hide and seek thing went on for way too long in the ceilings as Michael Myers is taking 2x4s and trying to bring Laurie down from the ceiling, and she's running away from him. But it is saved, like I said, by the ending, when he runs into her and they fall out in the front lawn and she shoots him in the face. I love that ending, but the build-up, did not care for it. Just too slow, too been there, done that, and they could have done something else. And with that said, here we go. My final thoughts, my overall grade. Well, let me say, you guys know, obviously if you've been hanging on my channel, I'm a huge Halloween fan. I've been watching these movies for a long time. I'm a fan of the holiday and I'm a fan of the series overall. When the announcement was made that Rob Zombie was going to remake this movie, I was not happy. I always felt that Halloween was untouchable, much like Jaws. You just don't remake it. But once Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre got remade and Hills Have Eyes, it was just open season. Everybody was jumping all over the reboot wagon, and here we go. This is what we got. I began to actually kind of accept the idea a little bit more because I liked the cast, I liked the ideas that he was working with, and of course Malcolm McDowell was chosen to play Dr. Loomis. I was like, oh, that was wonderful casting, I thought at the time. So I finally went and saw it in 2007. Yeah, I'm old enough to have seen that movie in theaters. And I was a little torn about it, and to this day I still am. I still watch it, I still check it out every now and then, but nowhere near to the degree as the original. I still have the original on DVD. The first DVD I ever bought was Halloween. It was the first DVD I ever bought back in the day. Saved up my money, and I bought it. I really do love the first 45 minutes because it did show us things we'd never seen before in a Michael Myers movie. We had visited mental hospitals, and on a lot of them, even Halloween Resurrection, but we'd never actually seen Michael actually being treated in the sanitarium. So that definitely gave us something new, and I really appreciated that. However, once they got back to Haddonfield, things just kind of slowed down a little bit. But again, it doesn't destroy the movie for me. It really doesn't. I think that the cast overall is what helps everyone. It's Michael's supporting cast and Laura's supporting cast. Danny Trejo and Sherry Moon Zombie are great. I love them as the supporting cast for Michael. And then you got Brad Dourif and Dee Wallace Stone as the very sweet mother. I really love that dynamic with her family. And Brad Dourif, man, Chucky, that's just awesome being the sheriff. I love that. That was great casting. You take one of the most ultimate bad guys and you turn it on its head and you take him from like a cop killer to an actual cop. And I really dug that. What this film really fails at, though, is giving us a true, realistic portrayal of what drove Michael to murder. It's way too cliche. Certain things happen that are just a little bit coincidental, like, you know, Laurie being taken to the hospital across the way, and somehow somebody brings her right back to Haddonfield like it was meant to happen, or because of script. It's never that clear. It's just too coincidental and a little harder to take seriously. But overall, it does the most important thing. It makes Michael Myers a true threat again. It makes him an absolute force of nature, a tornado, a hurricane, Hurricane Michael. We just had that recently. Like, that was Michael. And you know what? I like that. And for that, I can appreciate this movie. It actually brings him back, and at the time, it really put him back in the pop culture stats. Because once Busta Rhymes kicks your ass, how are you gonna take Michael Myers seriously? He is a Godzilla rolling through a city kind of destructive force, and that is something that no one can argue with when talking about this movie. So overall, what do I give this? I give it about a solid 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10. Maybe years down the road, or depending how I feel about this new Halloween, it might go up. But yeah, solid 6, 60%. Just you know, it's right there. You know, it could have been a lot worse, though. It really could have been a lot worse. I'm not a fan of House of a Thousand Corpses. A lot of people seem to like that movie, but that would have been a lot worse. Anyway, guys, it's not a masterpiece, but it is worth your time. And if I may recommend before I get out of here, just stick to the theatrical version. Don't watch the director's cut. It's got that super icky, gross rape scene. You know, you really don't want to see that. The theatrical version is rape-free. Thank God. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. Thank you for checking it out. Hopefully you stuck around through the whole video. If you didn't, it's alright. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to check me out. Spread the word. There is more on the way, guys. There are more videos on the way. And I will catch you later. Until next time.